right, it's Daily Ticker time, brought to you as always by our wonderful friends at Pelican Brewing. They crack open today's Daily Ticker with Pelicano. Discover Pelican's summer seasonal cerveza and drink in the refreshment. Joining us now, live on YouTube as well, and we apologize to Mike for this because it's always a little awkward and uncomfortable. We can't see him, he can't see us, but he's playing along. He's got to be on his phone. It's very convoluted, but we always appreciate when guests go the extra mile. Mike Lefko, he's up at Seattle Sports in Seattle, Mariner pre- and post-game host at Mike Lefko on Twitter. You can give him a follow there. So, Mike, first off, good morning to you, man. Probably a late night for you last night with the ball game. What are the vibes in Seattle? This is a year where they kind of went in with fans disgruntled in the offseason of that was our offseason. We did what? We did nothing. And here they are adding a couple of big pieces at the deadline, looking like maybe a team to beat in the American League.
Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, the vibes are good. I mean, that was the mantra of Eugenio Suarez, and when they brought him back, there was all this excitement because it was a beloved player for the Mariners, a guy that everyone really, the clubhouse, the fans, they all kind of got behind him as someone who was beloved on this team. Jerry DiPoto yesterday did speak beforehand and mentioned, hey, there is some regret about how the tenure ended, and they had to get rid of him. It was a move that, in hindsight, had they done some other things beforehand, maybe they keep Gino Suarez, but to bring him back, to have this buildup of coming back off a road trip that honestly was pretty tough. They lost the series to the A's. They split against the Angels, and then you come back and you're tied with the Rangers. So to have all this, to have Gino Suarez here, to get on base, to score the first run, and to have this cathartic release almost of all this anxiety from the offseason, it kind of was the perfect night last night in Seattle.
There seems to be two Mariner fans that we encounter in our lives, Mike, and I'm sure you have kind of something similar as well up there. It is either hope springs eternal, the optimism, or it's, I'm not falling for this again. Why is this Mariner team, in your estimation, why is this one maybe different than the last few years?
Yeah, I think you kind of tend to more of the negative lately when you get to the fans. But if you are on the hope springs eternal, and now it feels like everyone is, it's because of this trade deadline. It's because finally it felt like the front office and the team has taken advantage of what is a historic year from Cal Raleigh. 42 home runs at this point of the season. We have hit August, but still 42 home runs through July is just remarkable. So to capitalize on that, to capitalize on a rotation that even though they haven't been the best in baseball, they're certainly capable of that. You have 4 young arms that are homegrown, and you've had some more guys come into the rotation this year. So all of this has always been there. But now to go out and get the exact needs that I think people felt, and certainly the front office realized were lacking, those power bats at the corners in Josh Naylor and Gino Suarez. So to do that and to build a deep lineup, in fact, that is what President of Baseball Operations Jerry DiPoto said yesterday as well. It's the deepest lineup he's had post-trade deadline since he's been here. So all of that is the reason for excitement with this team.
Yeah, we're talking with Mike Lefko, Seattle Sports. He does Mariner pre and post up there in Seattle at Mike Lefko on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Kind enough to join us on YouTube as well for the Daily Ticker, brought to you as always by Pelican Brewing. There's been a lot of criticism of the ownership in the front office and the lack of aggressiveness and why don't they spend more money. And we see a lot of that down here from the Mariner fans that we interact with. Does this quiet some of that noise? Is it just you got to have postseason success and a deep run, then maybe it goes away? What's kind of the temperature on that right now?
Well, for the time, yes, it quiets that. And people have realized that the Mariners are not going to be a team that plays in the arena in the offseason of the Yankees or the Mets or the Dodgers. It's just not a lot of teams do that. So it's not unique to Seattle, but it is a common and understandable frustration. So the front office, in doing what they have to do, is usually make moves at the trade deadline. And they have been very active the past few years. Randy Arozarena, one of the best moves last year at the trade deadline, he's been incredible for the Mariners this season. Second on the team in home runs, tied for the team lead in stolen bases. He hit leadoff last night. So that has been a good move. And then to add on to that with Naylor and with Suarez, for now, yes, it quiets that noise. But ultimately, with one postseason appearance in the last, nearly 25 years, right, it's going to have to be make the postseason and then do something when it comes to October.
When you scan the AL, you look at the American League, and I think this is one reason that there is optimism is like the Yankees are dealing with injuries. They also think their manager's an absolute idiot. The Astros have come crashing down a little bit. Now, I know they made some moves. What do you make of the American League around the Mariners and just how everything kind of sits right now in that league?
Yeah, all that builds to it. Like you guys are saying, it feels like for the first time in a number of years, I think since the Astros have built this dynasty that they built up, that it is gettable. The American League is winnable, especially when you hold that Tiger series the Mariners had right before the All-Star break up as, look, they can beat the team that had the best record in the American League at that point. The Astros are holding on, and until someone finally unseats them, somehow they're there. But yeah, they're so injured. 18 players are on the IL. They're going to get healthy, but they have just kind of been a shadow of themselves. Honestly, it's the Rangers that I think could be the more dangerous team when it gets down the stretch here because their pitching is fantastic. If their lineup figures it out, that's going to be a dangerous team. But with the Mariners' success against them, they're 8-2 against them this season. They have an 8-2 record against them. Yeah, the Mariners have played well against some teams you might see in October. And I think that's why the front office sees this opportunity and said, this is the chance. The AL is winnable. We have the lineup now that can get this done along with our pitching.
Is Cal Raleigh the biggest star in Seattle sports right now, and is it particularly close?
Oh, he's the biggest star in baseball right now. I think I'm safe to say that after he kind of stole the show at the Home Run Derby and during the All-Star game. But yes, he is, bar none, the biggest star in Seattle. I mean, the man is sponsoring porta potties. He signed a deal with Honey Bucket, which is perfect. He's capitalizing on the Big Dumper nickname. So, yeah, he is the most beloved, the most popular, and still, which is great and which has kept him grounded, the most humble and hardworking superstar I think that you'll encounter. So, yeah, Cal Raleigh, far and away, the biggest name in Seattle right now.
I apologize, Mike, for not knowing this, but how long have you been in the Seattle sports scene, media-wise, doing the pregame? And I'm just curious to ask you that because is this Cal Raleigh's season the craziest, greatest season you've seen from a Mariner in your time in the media, or is it up there in the conversation compared to whoever else is in there?
Yeah, my time's been pretty short compared to the long history of the Mariners. So I've been here since 2021. It actually paralleled Cal Raleigh's rise here. So Raleigh was called up in 2021, briefly got sent down in 2022, and has come back. And so it's kind of been fun to watch him and to watch Logan Gilbert, who also was called up in 2021 for the first time. But yes, now in the 5 seasons, Cal Raleigh is doing something just unprecedented. So it's, for me, the craziest Mariners season I've seen. But I think that's safe to say because no one has seen a season like this from any catcher in baseball in a long time. I mean, Cal Raleigh's on pace to shatter every kind of catcher record you can think of. And it feels like they're making up records at this point. You know, it's the most home runs from a switch hitter, the most home runs from a catcher at a certain point of the season, the most home runs and stolen bases by a catcher. So, yeah, what Cal is doing is historic on a baseball level and certainly for me on a Mariners level from what I've seen over these past 5 years.
Well, as Mike said, the vibes are good in Seattle. They had Gino Suarez back at the deadline. Naylor had already been added, and they get a win in Game 1 with this new look roster. People are feeling good up there. Maybe this is the year after all.
And Mike, were you any concern about not adding maybe more arms? Like, what do you grade the trade deadline? I know Suarez was a big get. Naylor was a good get. Like, some Mariner fans, they always want a little more, right? They want that streak in the World Series not being in it to snap. What was your thoughts on the arm situation for Seattle?
Yeah, it's hard to argue with what they added because the offense has been so fickle at times, and that's been the issue for years. But, and it's something that even Jerry DiPoto mentioned yesterday, they were trying to get in on a bullpen arm until the very end. Because the way this team plays, they play so many close games. Seems like all their games are 1-run or 2-run games, so you're going to need those high-leverage arms. And they have 2 very good high-leverage options in Matt Brash and Andres Munoz. But we've seen at times, well, what happens when you play a 1-run game, and then the next night you play another 1-run game, and then the next night you play another game where you need your closer. So that was an area where if you're going to nitpick on something, on one, all right, there's potential for concern towards the end of the season, it's perhaps a high-leverage arm. But if you get to the playoffs, you can also be creative. We know how rosters constrict, and with a series that gives you some rest, we've seen starters come into the bullpen and pitch. Now, that doesn't always work well for the Mariners, but it's a situation where if you get to the playoffs with this group and the lineup is as good as it is, I think you can mitigate that. But yeah, if you're going to nitpick at one thing that, all right, maybe the grade would be an A, you could have had an A+ had you gotten another reliever. But it's hard to argue when everyone's feeling good right now because of Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor.
Yeah, they added what they mostly needed, and that was offensive production. Mike Lefko, Seattle Sports, pre and post Mariners host, at Mike Lefko on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Kind enough to join us this morning after a big win for the Mariners last night, live on YouTube as well. Mike, thanks for the time, man. Great to catch up with you. Enjoy this run to October, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
Yeah, thanks, guys. All right, talk to you in October. The Mariners are in the playoffs.
There we
I
go.
love it. Mike Lefko, great stuff from him. Pre and post for the Seattle Mariners getting ready for a playoff run.
You like to famously troll Mariner fans.
This is the year. This is the year.
I've noticed Joe Fish also doing that. This is going to be the biggest, funniest letdown of all time.
Oh, I'll eat a lot of crap. If they win a World Series this year, man, all jokes on me, eggs on my face.
But I'll say this. I wasn't able to watch the game because I don't root. They're not on my YouTube TV.
I do not root either.
But I'm always keeping up with the game when it's going on based on social media and following people. And then I go back and I'll look at some of the highlights, the home runs, the Cole Young home run, 470 feet.
Cool swing.
The vibes had to have been, or at least last night had to have felt like one of the peak moments for a Mariner fan in some time, given that they added Suarez back, they brought in Naylor, they're facing the Rangers. Cal's
team
having
in the playoff mix with
last night at T-Mobile had to have been up there in the last few years of peak vibes are amazing for Mariner fans.
People are feeling good, dude. We'll see if this is truly the year.
Yeah,
in Seattle.
if they take 3 out of 4 or sweep this series.
I mean, they've been scuffling the last couple of weeks. They needed a nice little week.
They didn't take advantage of the A's and Angels the way they should have.
No, that's one of the things that decides making the playoffs or not, or seeding or not, or winning a division. Do you beat up on the team you're supposed to?
If they take this series and possibly sweep it, then it's on. I don't know when they have the Astros again, but.
Well, my team's lost to both of those other teams you named. Those are good teams.
I didn't even know baseball was still going on. It's football season, dude. Football's back on my TV last night.
Dude.
What are you talking about? Charlie Woods is trying to make the Junior Ryder Cup. It's golf season still. It's football season. Baseball's done. You guys didn't get the memo? I sent an email. I thought it was over.
I got my email from the PGA to get my Ryder Cup.
See?
Credential?
No, Ryder Cup.
Why don't you get one?
Watch.
You should.
Why don't you get a credential?
You should.
Why don't you go to the Ryder Cup?
Well,
come on. It's Bethpage. Let's go.
What?
I know.
You could go.
Are you going to answer or are
You
you just
could
going to
go.
laugh?
Well,
You're going to Italy next year. Come
That's
on. The
true.
Swaggards are rolling in it. Go to
rolling in
Bethpage.
it right now,
The
dude.
Swags are feeling good.
He just got a new contract.
Condo's almost paid off.
Michael
Kids out of
Parsons
the
is mad at
house.
him. He
just got a
deal.
new contract.
Oh,
He's
We
feeling.
got Brothers Weekend going to be in Louisville next
Oh,
year.
See?
man.
Package this with a run to the Ryder Cup. Come on, Swigard. Pelican Brewing cracks open today's daily ticker with Pelicano. Discover Pelican's summer seasonal cerveza and drinking refreshment. Hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take.
Oh, no. What?
I don't even know if it's close. If Pelicano is my favorite Pelican beer. I love.
It's not even close.
It is blown. I love all Pelican beers. They gave us a 6er of Pelicano, and it is just for summertime. The refreshment. I love everything about it, man.
You don't have Teddy Ball Game friends yet, but my kids do. They're older. My daughters got dropped off at my house by one of their friends' parents because their sisters are friends with both my kids. I gave somebody in my family a Pelicano, and they drank it. They left it near my front door, so the mom comes up and the bottle gets kicked, and it's just an empty beer bottle in my front door. And I go,
This is not. I wasn't.
It's not what it looks like.
I haven't been drinking beers on the front porch all day. I promise. It wasn't me.
I understand the Pelicano very good.
It's delightful.
Very good.